What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Marisha LaShay, and welcome to another episode of The Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay, Financial Fanatics Edition. I am Marisha LaShay, and you know we have our good girl, Tia.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Y'all, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. Okay, it's going up on a Tuesday. So, you guys, we always love to start the show off with our mental check in, which is rated on a scale from 1 to 10. 1 being the worst day of our life, 10 being the best day of our lives. Can I be below a 1 and can I be above a 10? Absolutely.
Salute.
No one can tell you how to feel about why you feel the way that you do. So with that being said, you guys, Tia and I always go first. And we want you guys to go ahead and drop those comments below, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube or whatnot, wherever, whatever platform that you're on, please feel free to set those things out, those numbers, so we'll know how you're feeling.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm so excited on this Tuesday morning just because it's Tuesday. So I'm on a 9, right? I'm on a 9. That's it. I'm so excited. So
Honey,
happy.
yes, I'm super ecstatic because, honey, I this is day 2 for me at work or whatever with the work week. My work week is going to be short for me because I'm going to be out for 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because I got to go to court. So, honey, I only got this is the second day, and I'm just like, oh, thank you, Jesus. I know that I'm going to be missed, but praise the Lord.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
I
yes,
need
yes.
this,
You need
but
some
at
time.
the same time, it's still going to be a productive time because everything's still going to hit. I'm coming back even stronger and everything like that. So yeah.
Excited. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes, y'all. So with that being said, you guys know that today is day 24. This show will be in effect for the next 6 days. I know that what you guys are probably thinking, like, what? The
Six
time have gone.
days.
We have 6 days. Okay. Not only that, you know that we only show up in months that have 30 days. So that is September, November, April, and June. And then I want to go ahead and hit y'all with what the actual question is for today. What is teaching kids about money? What is teaching kids about money? What does that look like? What does that sound like? And I'm gonna give it over to my good girl Tia because y'all know who she is and what she do. Let's go.
Good morning, everybody. Listen. Kids have a funny way of teaching you that they do not care about your money more than they care about their own, right? So you want to start teaching them about money early. Now, listen, you might have given your child $5 and you told them, we're going to go to the store. And they say, okay, mommy, I have $5. And then you show them something that's $6 and they realize they don't have $6. They're not going to spend their money, they're going to save it. But if it was your money, oh, you best believe they're going to want you to pull out that debit card and make
Yes.
sure that you buy that $6 toy. So look, starting kids out early, teaching them about money is going to be so, so good, right? So the first thing that you want to do is you want to teach them the value of money. So in one of our episodes, I believe it was on Sunday, I was talking about teaching kids how to like budget their money and giving them money assigned to like chores and things like that. That's going to help them learn the value of money. When you have a child doing some type of chore or some type of activity around the home or even outside of the home, they're learning that for their hard work, they could be compensated for that in the form of money, right? And you want to teach them the value of it and how they have to get it, right? We're teaching them about being responsible, doing the things that they're going to want to do because the money will then lead them to the $6 gift, right? Then the next thing that you want to do as they get a little bit older, you want to start teaching them about saving. In that same conversation on Sunday, I talked about having them break down maybe the $10 that you give them, right? They might put $1 over here for something. They might put $2 over here into savings. And now we're teaching them that even though you might have gotten $10, you still want to put a little bit of money away for a rainy day, right? Kids are going to understand that sometimes a lot more than adults because they're going to want that shiny toy, right? And if you teach them to put a little bit of money away, a little bit of money away, I promise you they will connect saving for something that they want later as opposed to having instant gratification. I don't know what that is about kids, but they understand it. They might get a little bit sad, but they understand it, right? The same way that we do. Now, as your children get older, not really little, but like older, you want to start teaching them about investing, right? Investing in something. Now, the simplest way is maybe you can teach them about investing in a business. And I'm saying that for kids, right? Because they can start a lemonade stand. Maybe they might have 20 or $40 that they saved up and they're thinking, okay, well, I want more money or I need more money to buy maybe a video game or something like that, right? Or maybe they want a new pair of shoes or whatever they want to spend their money on. You're teaching them, well, if you start this business, you have now invested and your money can grow. Your little $10, your money mommy, right, which is the $10, once you start selling your lemonade products, have grown you $10 babies. So now you've taught your kids about investing in something and what the outcome of that may look like. Now, those are three quick things, like when they're little kids, right? Or before they become teenagers. As they grow up, though, and they become teenagers, you want to encourage them about getting a summer job, teaching them how to go out here and work for the things that they need. Now, the summer job could be their lemonade stand if it's been growing year after year after year, or they could be going out here and going to a brick and mortar and getting a job. Now, with getting a job, you start teaching them about the real world. Hey, this is your check that you're going to get. You start teaching them about taxes and you start teaching them about benefits and what all of those things mean, right? And how maybe you might have been paid $12 an hour, but at the end of it all, you will not receive what it is that you thought you were going to receive, right? We start teaching them about gross and net income. And then kids are like, what in the world have you been doing? How have you been living like this, Mom? Like, what's going on, right? But now you have taken them on and you've taught them about a really key thing. You've taught them about how money really works in the real world. Of course, the next thing that you want to do is introduce them to credit. Now, I'm not saying sit down and have a full blown conversation as if they were an adult, but you want to teach them just kind of small things about what credit means and how if they don't pay a bill or if they don't pay for something that they have, how that could impact their lives moving forward, right? You don't want to tell them like, oh, when you turn 18, do this, do this, do this, if you don't have the savviness to make sure that they know what's going on. Now, that's still in their teenage years, of course, but as they become young adults, now I'm just taking you through the full trajectory, right? So we started when they were little, now they're teenagers, now they're young adults, but even they could still be in the teenage phase, right? You want to help them set up a budget. Help them set up a budget. And when you help them set up a budget, they won't stray from the budget. They'll make sure that they're going to be buying and doing things that are within their budget. And as they grow, the budget will change. And of course, the very last thing is you want to keep them encouraged, right? Keep them encouraged and let them know that even though they're starting small, even though they might not have all of the things they want and they worked hard for it, if they continue to work hard, they'll have the things that they want. And in doing all of that, you've taught them about money through the whole entire trajectory of their lives, and they're going to be thankful for you doing that. But that's it. That's really it from a small kid to a young adult. That's how we teach them about.
How um how young should we start? You know, like are we talking about like 5 years old? Should we provide visuals,
Yeah,
to be able to, get this? Because I know kids start counting money in like the second grade.
yeah. I would say that you should start at 5. because
Got
kids, if they're 5 years old, they do have some type of small chores in the house, right? They might have to feed the dog, or they might have to make the table, or whatever. You should start teaching them about it when they're at least about 5. Some kindergarten classes start teaching kids about, small bills and things like that. You can teach them how to add it up and all that stuff, but I would definitely say start at 5. They start asking for
okay.
stuff at 5 for real,
Definitely so. How do we also get the kids involved when you think about like trust funds and things like that? Like, do they know at what age should the babies know that they are trust fund kids or what an actual trust fund is? These are the things that mommy has set aside for you. How at what point do we begin to reveal that to them or that you think that's appropriate?
Well, I'm going to say for all the families out there, you can have that can be a conversation or a judgment that you should make for yourself, right?
Definitely.
Um, Here's a couple of reasons why I say that. One, because I don't know all of the personalities of a lot of kids, right? If some children know that they're trust fund kids right off the bat, then they tend to be lazy, right? Like, oh, okay, well, I don't have to do nothing because I got
Mm,
this money coming in when I get older. If you don't tell them, right, and they just start to just develop some good work habits, some good character ethics and things like that, and they've been working hard, working hard, working hard, when that conversation does come up or when they're introduced to that, they've already put forth the effort that this is just going to be additional to help push them to whatever goal it is that they're trying to reach. So I would say that that would be a conversation that you would have with your children when you deem it's ready.
okay, that's great. So it's at the discretion of the actual parent.
Correct.
What advice would you have for parents who do not feel comfortable with discussing finances with their children or, you know, teaching them?
Yeah, I would say get out of that. Get out of that mind space. You don't have to tell the kids everything that's happening in the home. That does not have to be a conversation that you have with them, but you absolutely have to teach your kids at some point about money, some point about financial concepts, some point about financial education, because here's the truth of the matter. You get grown adults who then have conversations and say, oh, my family never taught me that. Oh, we never talked about money in my house. Oh, I never understood interest rates. I don't know what a credit score is. Nobody ever told me that.
Wow.
Nobody set me down and had this conversation. Literally, I hear it day in and day out when I'm talking to my financial services clients. Nobody has ever taught them the things that I'm teaching them right now. And you want to know the crazy part? I also did not know these things until I got in the business. So we have to start having conversations with our children early so we can start shifting the narrative around what our people do not know about money.
That is definitely good, Tia, that you speak about, starting early, you know, um, with the families, you know what I'm saying? And actually seeking out resources because there are financial literacy tools for kids,
Yes,
right?
there
That
are.
I've seen on social media, that I've
Yeah,
seen, that can teach these kids about money. It's not like a surprise, like a
yeah,
surprise. Did you know that? Did you know
yeah,
this? Did you know? So it's like actually being able to have a safe space of talking about money, it's endless. There's so many things that you could teach your kid, and you
so
should
many.
not limit yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like from when they were an infant, you started off. Of course, you're not gonna be talking to your infant. Yeah, I put this 529 plan together for you. I got investments for you.
Right, right. You're not gonna
Like,
be doing
no,
that.
I'm talking about where you can actually show them, hey, do you think you might want to go to college?
Right.
Just kind of exposing them earlier. Take them to the bank with you. You know
Oh
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Take them to the
absolutely.
bank with you.
Absolutely.
Explain to them this is your debit card. Explain to them this is a credit card. Explain this is a deposit slip. This is a withdrawal form. It's just like all these different things that is happening in the world of kids, the unknown. I didn't know that. I'm just a
Yeah,
kid. I'm just a kid.
yeah.
Honey, you're just a kid, but these are things that we must talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to because our kids are going to be lost in the sauce. We had the conversation about the financial scams. Oh my God. If you don't start teaching your kids about money, they're going to be falling prey to a lot of different things, right? So you have to start teaching them early on about money, about just anything that's dealing with the financial sector, because it's going to help them. It's really going to help them become better adults when they get older, better young people, right? So many of us have gone to college, and I am not knocking my college experience. I loved it, right? But if somebody would have actually sat down and talked with me about student loans and what that refund check really would do years later, I don't think that a lot of us would have been so quick to just be like, oh, I can't wait to get a refund check, or I'm going to take, the max amount of money and things like that. If we start having these conversations early with our children about money, then these conversations will spill over into academia. We'll start looking into more scholarships for our kids. We'll start early. That'll push them, right? That will push them to care more about other sectors of their lives. Because if they're thinking about going to school and they're thinking about going to a more expensive school and they know that you can't afford it, right? Or maybe you might have been putting some money to the side, and maybe the 529 plan might not have everything in it by the time they go to college. They'll start thinking about scholarships. They'll start thinking about how to put that money together. As long as you're not teaching them the side of financial understanding from a place of struggle and a place of lack. If you just teach them about it from a place of value and what they could do with it, I promise you these kids will have better kids that understand money later. I promise you.
I mean, I'm glad that you speak about it coming from a place of, you know, um, not scare and fear or
Mm-hmm.
scarcity.
Yeah.
Like being in survival mode. Oh, you
Yeah.
can't go. Because in the Black community, we have heard our parents say, or other people's parents, you're not going to college unless you major this particular thing. I'm not
Yeah.
going to pay for you to go. And then now you have a financial wedge. Y'all are falling out over money because this child doesn't want to be a doctor. This child doesn't want to be a lawyer. And you should never have to make your child choose about them pursuing their dreams just because, excuse me, you failed to prepare. So now they take on the financial trenches of your decision making and you and your lack of as a parent.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't afford it and this, but you never prepared them to be able to take another route. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily about you being able to afford college. That baby could have sat down in community college and got straight A's and got that GPA together if they did not end high school well, but also being involved in other things and meeting the right people and getting in the right rooms.
Yeah.
Let me say that again for people in the back. Get your butt in the room with other people. Network your face off. Sororities have scholarships. Fraternities have scholarships. The Order, Eastern Stars, Masons have scholarship. These big companies that you're giving your money to and that you're
Have
investing in have
scholarship. Absolutely.
scholarships. Even the school,
Absolutely.
if you major certain things, if you go to the UNCF, which is United College Fund,
They
there are
have
a
scholarship.
plethora of scholarships. When that baby, that that baby wants to go, as soon as you walk into your freshman year, that baby comes out of eighth grade.
Mm-hmm.
Start taking them kids to these college trips in the summer or whenever. It's never too early to start talking about college.
No. Listen, that was one of the things that I meant to mention in our financial planning for families show that was on Sunday. I meant to mention that we have to start thinking about these different type of experiences that we want our children to go
Mhm.
to, right? When kids get in high school. Now, I know. On the internet, there is a wonderful way to make money being on the internet, selling some type of digital product or whatever. But for everybody who has ever went to college, one of the things that we always talk about is that it was the experience that was
Yes.
very valuable because it taught us a couple things, right? Nobody's there to hold your hand. This I'm
No.
talking to the students that are listening. Nobody is there to hold your hand. When you have an 8 a.m. class, there is no mommy, daddy, sister, cousin, brother, friend to wake you up and say, hey, it's time to get up. You have to go to class. What you have to do, what this then now instills in the child, is the ability to get themselves up and go about their day. So, this is what I'm telling you, parents out there. Do not start thinking like, oh, well, college is not, I don't want my kid to do that. No, start planning for things like these college tours for when those babies start freshman year. We have to start exposing them to different things. And you can start planning for these things. Reach out to these companies and ask, on average, how much does it cost for a student to participate in your summer program? Start saving for that. Now, here's the other thing. I have heard every single back to school year when it comes to college freshmen. I have heard and I have seen a lot of Facebook posts from parents who feel shame and guilt because their credit scores sometimes aren't in a place to help their students if they can't get enough scholarships. This is what I'm going to tell you. Start working on your credit right now. Right now. Start working on it. Let that thing trickle down into every aspect of your life. Clear up everything. And I know we're talking about this particular topic about teaching kids about money, but if you need credit repair services, please reach out to me. Okay, I do credit repair services. I will help you because I have talked to so many parents who have sat with me and just felt so much shame and guilt because they could not send their children where their children actually wanted to go. And I've lived that experience. I've been that child who wanted to go somewhere, who needed just a few more $1,000s, but no one in my family could get that what is it, the parent plus loan or whatever, or some type of loan to help you go to college, go to that school. I couldn't get someone to be able to do it. And not because they weren't willing, but because the credit score wasn't there and got denied. So I'm telling you, as we're teaching our kids about money, parents, reach out to me so that way we can get you in a better place financially. Seriously. Because that was a good one about the college tours. That was a good one. When you start sending your kids on stuff like that, baby, they gonna want to go. They gonna want
Yeah. And I did not choose my university. I knew I wanted to be at Clark University for several reasons, but when I stepped on the campus, that sealed the deal for me. It's just like when we are sending our kids to schools, just because we're going based off the ratings and things
yeah,
like that. But when you come in, when you come to these events, this is your moment to get feel out what the staff is like, to feel out everything because you as a person could know what a person can only hide so much.
right. That is correct.
So when you come to these events, y'all, families, I'm asking you to go up to that school. I'm asking you to go to curriculum night. And I'm here as a middle school educator, but I'm also here as a parent. And I've always worn both hats.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, the things that work best so you could see how can I help my child at home make them read for 20 minutes a day.
Yep.
It's the little things that add up to the big things. If you know your baby is not on grade level, it is nothing to, we got to stop with the shaming. We got to stop judging ourselves. We got to stop feeling sorry for ourselves. And today, I want you to stop that today. If you ain't heard nothing that we said, today is the day. It's about the kids today. And this goes beyond the financial fanatics piece of financial planning, teaching them about money. It goes beyond the values because it's all connected.
Yeah.
Yes, it's about them knowing what their options are. Yes, I could go ahead and get this full ride as a football player. Yes, I go ahead and dance my way on up ahead to college. But I understand that I'm not only black. Understand that what being black is, you're a minority. When we start talking that language and talking that talk, you're looking at two college graduates. And I'm a minority. And so is Tia. When she went to a PWI, she was a minority. So
Yeah.
she had to go and find the black crew. Because we're not saying that we can't hang out with our white counterparts, but I'm going to break it down to you in the community. They used to say that if you went to college, you talking white and you acting white. But we're not ready for that conversation. We're bringing it back. It's about the kids. If you never took your kids downtown Chicago, if you never take your kids anywhere out there, how are they going to experience life because you're holding them back because you were held back?
Yeah.
This thing could be generational.
Yeah.
My son goes, honey. It's time for him to get a passport. He goes. He experienced that baby learned how to walk on Clarkland University's campus, okay? He learned to walk. My baby shower was held in my freshman dorm. Do you hear me? Everybody knew. People that didn't even know me was talking about what I done did. in my undergraduate years as a STEM major. And everybody, let me tell you something. If you don't get your kid involved in STEM, STEM is the way. It's not only just science. We talk about technology, we talk about engineering, we talk about mathematics. But to do all of that, you got to read.
Gotta read.
You got to read.
You
Reading
gotta
is the
read.
access point. So if your child is not reading, pull out the sight words. Practice makes perfect.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about as the connection comes back to the financial planning piece. Talk money. Let's talk reading and understanding the money. Let's talk about comprehension. Let's talk about experience, which is tied, which is time. Let's talk about the acronym GET, which is growth, experience, and time. Go get it. Get, get, get out of your
You
way.
preaching.
Get out of your way. Get out of your way. Get out of your head. Put your pride aside. Because, parents, I'm sick of seeing it. I'm sick of you making excuses, thinking the schoolhouse is your safe house.
I'm telling you.
Enough is enough. You lay down, you gave it up, and now you better give it up and stand up. And that's it. Because I'm sick of it. What I'm seeing every day, the school got to give your kid uniforms. The school is a resource, no doubt about it. But if you know that you didn't spend the rent money and you walking around here with the newest iPhone, my problem is not with the children. My problem
It's
is
true.
with you.
Yeah.
And those who are listening, you can say, Marisha LaShay, I know that you live a life. I live a life, but I understand and know that I have to pay for the actions and the things that I do when God lended me this child. It is a responsibility with having children. Everybody is not able. And for those of you that's just having kids, thinking that's going to keep that man, it's not. It's about the kids. It is about the kids all day, every day. It ain't about you no more. Being a parent is a sacrifice. Whether you're going to sacrifice your time, whether you're going to sacrifice your sleep, whether you're going to sacrifice being at these games and still trying to balance it all. We don't want to hear the single mother mantra no more. We don't want to hear the single dad mantra no more.
They finna come swinging. They finna come and you just preaching and talking. They finna come
Because it's
swinging at you.
enough. Is it about the kids or is it about you? Is it
They
about
finna come
you
swinging at
being
you.
able to start soliciting yourself? Here you go with the bowl. Come on. Come on. You knew what was up. Come
Come
on. You knew what was up. It's the playing crazy for me that gets me. When these parents come up here and they live in Inglewood, I serve at Inglewood. That's why I serve at. And they coming up in here, sister, let me ask you something. You signing for bus cards? Are you serious? How long you finna be doing this? And I'm not judging you because I didn't have my fair share. But I said enough is enough coming out of that scarcity mindset.
on. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
How long
yeah.
you gonna be on the blue card? And when I talk about the blue card, I'm talking about EBT. How long? How long? Come on now. How many of
Listen,
us still living in O Block? Who's still living on right there on 60 something and King Drive and Parkway? It's looking like a Cook County way. It's looking like a good airport way. You hear me? One way in, one way out.
did you call the people out?
Honey, this is not a call out. This is a come up.
This is
Rise
it.
up.
This is it. I'm telling you, you speaking that talk, and all you saying for all the people out there is
It's
get
connected.
your stuff together because it's all connected. You
It
can change your
is.
life with just one simple yes. You can change your life with a simple yes, and that's what Marisha is telling you. That's what she's telling
That's
you.
it.
Not
Because
the yes that
somebody's
keeps you
gonna
there.
say because they see your background, they don't know what my background look like. But because they see you sitting here on this show and every day in September with the nice windows, you don't know her story.
Okay.
Just because you think I drive a nice car, you don't know if I'm leasing. But we need to stop trying to guess what each other's status is just because the kids dress like you don't know what I had to do. Like my auntie always say, you don't know what I had to do to get this money. You don't know in the background what the struggle was, and then I bring the struggle on myself. All I'm asking is for accountability right now.
That's it.
That's all I'm
That's it.
asking for.
That's it.
All I'm
That's
asking is
it.
for acknowledgement right now. Am I going to be accountable? Am I going to be an accountable woman? Am I going to be accountable wife? Am I going to be accountable mother? Am I going to be accountable educator? Am I going to be an accountable friend? Am I going to be an accountable podcast content creator to talk that real to y'all? This is accountability. This ain't to put your business out on Front Street. This is a part of accountability, and accountability is attached to acknowledgement. And
That's it.
acknowledgement is tied to assets, and assets is tied to choices.
Yeah.
What kind of choices and opportunity do you have on the table right now for young baby? Ain't nobody mad that you pregnant 6 times. What I am mad at is that you ain't trying to make your situation better. Okay, you got 8 kids. You got 10 kids. But I bet you ain't trying to get that situation better. I
Right.
bet you.
Right.
I could bet you my bottom dollar in my purse. And I don't even carry a purse every day. But that's another story for another day. Meanwhile, y'all, I'm just so sick and tired of this lack of thereof. And parents, another thing, you show up to the club, but you won't show up to little Bam Bam's extracurricular activities, or you won't never give no money or set aside no money for their activities. Who are you to be pouring up at the club, but you ain't got no activity money for them? That drink that you just poured up, that was his down payment. That was his, a prepayment.
Woo! Girl.
Cause I'm just tired of seeing it. Then you smiling at the club, but you know that you ain't got no food at the house. Okay, I'm done. I don't want to expose nobody. I don't want nobody to say, Marisha LaShay hates single mothers and
Right.
this.
Don't say that because that is not what she said.
That is
Don't say
not what
that.
I'm saying. That is
Don't say
not
that.
what I'm
That's
saying.
not
That
what
is
she said.
not
What
what
she
I'm
said
saying.
is, even though that may be your narrative, let's
Yeah,
switch it so you can have a better one. That's what
that's
she
all
said.
we're saying.
That's
Let's
what
just
she
teach
said.
the kids. Let's just make sure that we're talking to them about money, but money is tied to choices, acknowledgement, accountability, discipline, regardless
Right.
of your circumstances. That's it. I'm gone. I've said a lot. I've done a lot. I didn't flip some tables this morning, and that's totally fine. But I'm not gonna ever sit up here and make it seem like that my story was so pretty and I ain't never had nothing going on, because that's
Okay.
fluff.
That's
That's marshmallow fluff, as Tia would say. That's fluff. And you ain't serving your people. You
at
fluff.
all with that fluff.
And as my daddy say, you cloak it.
Now I got a new one. Baby, what a cloak.
You're cloaking. You're
You
cloaking.
cloaking, honey. You cloaking.
Yes, y'all. So with that
Hmm.
being said, I know y'all like, oh my God, well, you start talking aggressive. No, because it started off really, really cute. It was
Cute.
really cutesy. It was really demure,
Demure.
demure. But let's talk about the real. Let's rip off the band-aid, because everybody's not talking how we're talking and how looking and looking and looking. These kids matter
They
to
do.
me as an educator, as a mom. No, you could get this thing right. Year after year, you could get this thing right. You could level up if you want to.
If you want to.
If you
If you
want
want to.
to. You can create opportunities if you want
Yes.
to. You could get in the room instead of being jealous of Tiffany and Tia. She's getting money. And I'm sitting here, well, who does she think she is? No, you're stopping yourself. You're blocking your blessing. Instead of you saying that, how about you go over there and have a conversation with Tia?
Yeah.
How about you start asking questions of inquiry? How about we open up the floor for opportunity and conversation and networking to go on? How about it? I'm gonna come into the room, but I won't stay in the room. I'm gonna come into the room, but I'm gonna get uncomfortable, because being uncomfortable is what's gonna take you to the next level. Because if
That's
I was so uncomfortable, I wouldn't be right here again talking about financial fanatics. Had I almost 3, 4 years ago, I wouldn't be right here having a co-host if I was uncomfortable.
Mhm.
If I use every excuse in the book, I work a full-time job. Don't we all?
Don't we all?
I have Caden. I have to do this. This I don't. My new thing that I tell my kids and see, you could take this and y'all could take this. It sounds like you're giving me something that starts with the E and ends with the E. It's called an excuse. I don't want to hear it because I'm not giving you any.
I love it. I love
It
it.
starts with the E and ends with the E. It sounds like a what? Excuse.
Excuse.
And that's it, y'all. I'm gone. I will talk to y'all tomorrow, same time, same place. I love y'all, but we gonna stop living like this.
Yeah.
We're gonna stop living like this.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss, we gonna stop living like this because we don't
That's
deserve
it.
this, and these kids don't deserve this either. We gotta
That's
step our
it.
game up, and we gotta stop doing this. So with that being said, y'all, I'm gonna talk to y'all tomorrow.
All right.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.